Thanks guys for joining this video. Let us understand how do we do ETL on NoSQL databases, and what are the things that we should take care and understand how it is different from writing ETL on something which is kind of a structure like Oracle or SQL Server. So that is for especially those people, those kids which are coming from that background, maybe coming out of the colleges or coming out of those projects, those used to work on Oracle and SQL Server. So let us understand it this way. This is the Oracle. It is a relational database. It is a structured database. So, and this is my ETL tool. So when the ODBC connection or any connection that I will make from this to this, when the connection properties are refreshed, what will happen? The structure of the tables, or for example there is one table, so structure of the table will be copied here in the ETL tool. So the structure will be same here also, here also. This is my ETL tool, this is my Oracle database. So when my query gets fired, what happens? The structure goes here, and because it was the same structure which was copied when the connection was established first time, JDBC or ODBC, whatever it is, it will understand it and it will execute and will give you back the result. So the process is really very simple, because when the connection was established, the Oracle provided the schema of the tables, or structure of the tables, or metadata of the tables. You can call by rename. Let us use metadata. So Oracle provided metadata at the time of connection building. So now anybody is writing any query will execute fine without any issue. Now imagine this is not Oracle, and that is where the issue comes in. This is kind of a NoSQL databases like MongoDB. And when you establish a connection with MongoDB, for example, this is an ETL tool, for example, Informatica. When you create this connection, the connection will be created, but it will not share the metadata because it doesn't have it. MongoDB doesn't have the metadata. It doesn't know its own tables, structures. Tables can have any kind of structure. It doesn't guarantee any structure. So when you have the connection, but you do not have the metadata, so when you fire the query, this will first of all, it will not work. So if there is no metadata, then how do we write ETL on a databases where there is no metadata using those tools? So if we are using Spark, the things become a bit easier there, because Spark is a kind of provides API or abstraction to kind of access those databases. You can kind of enforce a schema on top of what you are reading. But the tools like Informatica, it is tool, so you have to follow what it can do. You cannot write your custom code or change its features. So what the Informatica will do, when you establish a connection, if whatever rows are there, it will pick one row randomly. If there are 10 rows in a collection in MongoDB, it will read one row, any one row, and will try to infer a schema from it. So for example, it is having 10 rows and all are having different kind of columns, not following a single structure, and it goes there, picks the third row for it randomly and try to read the structure from it, because this needs a structure. Without a structure, ETL cannot be performed anywhere, whether it's Spark or Informatica, Ab initio, data stage, whatever it is. Without a structure, you cannot write ETL code. So it needs a structure, but MongoDB is not providing. So what it will do, it will kind of take a random row from here and will try to infer the schema. And okay, then this table contains 5 columns, but the fifth row contains 5 columns. All those 10 row didn't contain 5 columns. So, that is where that is the ambiguity you need to handle in the informatica, and that those issues will come when you write ETL on NoSQL databases, because the moment you add a sixth column, it will not know. And if you write a code with 6 column, because it knows only 5 column, it will the informatica server or any ETL tool server will throw you an error that I don't find 6 column. It won't find 6 column because it knows only 5 columns, because when it hit the MongoDB first time, when the connection was getting established, it randomly picked a row which had only 5 columns. So those are the ambiguities you need to handle. Sometime what you will need to do is that for writing purposes you will need to use that maybe Python script to load data into MongoDB rather than using Informatica or any ETL tool. Reading may be fine, but writing will cause an issues. So when you are writing ETL logic on where the source is NoSQL, make sure you have the ETL tool, but you also understand one of the scripting language so that you can resolve this kind of issues. So what I used to do, I used to write Python script to handle this kind of issues, and Python has a PyMongo library. So this is something that you need to understand while writing ETL on the NoSQL databases, because those do not provide the metadata required for writing a scalable, good performant ETL jobs. Thanks for joining.